Last on the list until I can find the Barabataraus is the 00 Command Quant. Not super psyched about this one. I'm not really jiving with the colors and the design on it, but I do like some of the weaponry. This one I'm going to have to just become a fan of as I'm building it. So let's go ahead and get inside and take a look at those runners. Alright, so this one's actually not that sticker heavy as well, which is exciting. It looks like it's just the components that go underneath the little leg and arm components that have the clear parts that go over. So this might actually work a good glow effect behind there. Kind of a polarizing effect. Those two stickers looks like big uh-ohs. Like, where are we going to put those? Why couldn't that just be its own part color? But we'll see. Next up, just going to go ahead and just look through the manual really quick. I don't think it's going to be that exciting, and then we'll get right to showing you all the different the runner components, showing you the new ones more, the reused ones. Not going to spend so much time on them. So let's get to the manual right now. Alright, so here's the manual. Just doing a quick run through of that. Doesn't look too exciting. Like I said before, there's just not too much that I'm getting excited about this design wise. The back and the weapons look pretty cool. The head looks pretty interesting. It just looks weird with the ankles and the feet and the calves being the way they are. So just I'm gonna have to get into it, and hopefully I'll like it. Looks like it's a combination of a that looks like some super deformed kit from the Commando, and they're using that combined with the Quant T. All right, let's see. We have some action poses there. Open hands, got its weapons, and I don't know. If you're excited about this, then you're already gonna like it. But I'd say out of anything, this one kind of the least. I just kind of got it to be able to be able to build them all. It was kind of exciting having them all at targets, but this one, not too into it. Maybe I'll get more into it as I build it, but we'll have to see. All right, first runner, A, and this is going to be a reuse from the Quant, the HG Quant T. So even if you're not gonna be using, I don't know if they're just going to be using these clear parts or some of the legs. Don't know yet. Haven't looked in the manual, but I know they won't be using the head, so you're going to have definitely some good head components left over if you're into that sort of thing, like building it for custom pieces. A couple shields, weird clear part. You should have quite a few leftovers from this this runner. Don't know how much is going to be used on this, but reused. Not going to talk about it too much. Two interesting things. So a lot of PC joints on this, quite a big one, another big sheet. Not gonna use all these. You're gonna have quite a few left over. So start a box. Now the blade components, they were originally cast in a clear green. These are still the flexible plastic, which is gonna make these a little bit of a nightmare, I think, to put them together and or paint. If you're into painting them, it's gonna be hard to paint these with the type of plastic that it is. Be aware of that. And yeah, it's the little blade components for the weaponry. And then we got our first, here's the first new runner. So we got, let's see, the second one. Ooh. 3 new runners. Okay, let me widen out. So we have 4 new runners custom for this release. Mostly probably the Commando Gundam parts that don't ever come in any kit. So we got a nice mustard yellow for the ankle armor and the V-fin. Interesting red for the missiles and some of the face and head components. And then a runner specific for the like shins and feet and waist, shoulders, shield, and then mid torso, or the outside torso, and then the new head. So, and then all the weaponry is in the last runner. All the new weaponry, all the new guns, and looks like the feet, backpack, and all the extra components that don't have a kit because the Commando Gundam never had a high grade or an older grade model of that. So instead of taking them all, and then the last runner, I'm not even going to show this one. It's just a reuse. This would be B. It's just a reuse of more of the quant internal components, so the internal chest, legs, inner frame. Not very interesting. So I tried this on the last one, it worked. So I'm going to see if it'll work on this time. So I think what I had to do is this, and then I just put energy in, and there it is, all built, ready to go. I did end up liking this a bit. I still have a lot of bias against the 00 high grade kits with how they design out their legs and how they piece things together. But again, that's just personal bias. I'm not gonna let that interfere too much with this. I think as far as structurally, it's probably one of the most solid of all of the Breaker releases. It's got some cool components. It's definitely got that quant vibe with like a full armor Gundam color, but still having the green, the kind of lighter tone greens in there. Think you will enjoy it. If you're gonna get it for anything, I think definitely the weapon packs and the rifle and the head. Let me start going over the general of. Let me start over. So these things I liked about it, and then I'll talk about stuff I didn't really like. So we're going to talk about just what came out, what jumped out at me is what I really liked as I was building it. Because before, if you remember, I wasn't really a fan of the design, and a few things started, I started liking a lot. So the big main one is the head camera unit here. Definitely enjoyed that. How it's separated. You could definitely pop that on almost any kit that has a similar shape. I mean, a little bit of putty, a little bit of a strategic plastic plating, styrene plating, but for the most part, I think you can get some pretty decent designs out of that double camera head there, especially if you pop that on like the section of like the GM sniper for the 144th. I think I'm gonna try that. That'd be a cool little extra camera unit there, or a G-Gin, or any GM where you want to pop that kind of a different camera angle on there. And then the next thing is I really liked how the rifle was and is set up. I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool incorporating some of the little bayonet shapes there, even though it is made out of the softer plastic, which won't be that hard to paint. You just have to be aware that all the blade plastics were originally for that clear color. But you got some cool sensors, and the backpack I really enjoy. I think that'd be really nice to pop onto another kit. Shield's nice and everything like that, but really it just comes down to I'm not really a fan of the whole thing just based around the 00 joint systems, but it's just the way that they're placed together. But still, I'm trying to get ahead of myself. I did end up enjoying a lot of the portions of it. I definitely like the rocket pack here. I think that could be definitely useful on other kits. It's got a lot of articulation. Fits really nice. It's designed well. I think all the added new components really bring the concept home. But you're gonna have a lot of, if you ever built any of the 00 high grades before, it's just a lot of nubs in a lot of places to be seen. Harder to paint with the frame, but not really that much harder, just a little bit more prep. I don't know. I think I'm starting to I really like the real grade frames for the 00 and the whatnot series, but the high grades I just haven't really enjoyed how they've been placed together, but that's personal. I think you'll like it if you're a fan of the quant and a little bit of a turn on that. But let's get this posed up and see what it looks like. Or I'll talk about stuff I didn't like next. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Right. So I was going to talk about what I did not enjoy about this. Just from a design aesthetic, I do not like this section. I do not care for this. That's just what I don't like about it. It interferes nothing with how it works. All the parts fit together. It's very stiff. It's solid. It's not a problem. I just don't like this. It makes everything look the same. Goes sweeps right down, and it looks like there's no from the side. It just looks like one solid leg. Which even the Gray's legs that have that similar design fixed it with some of the roundness. This just looks, it looks ankle heavy, and it looks like everything is just on the same plane. But again, that's personal to me. The build went together perfect, fine. I think the waist and everything else is very solid. You get that nice 00 turn pivot there, as well as a little bit of the front and back. Pretty good for all of them, but it's that nice little turn so you can kind of crook it to the side. All the accessories fit in real good. No problems there. The rifle's really nice, but the only there's really not a lot of problems. I know I had to have a section where I talked about problems, but I think it's more just a section of what I did not like about it, and I just didn't like this leg right there. And that's just me. And I also didn't like that the plastic was made out of the soft, what usually is in the clear injection. It would have been nice if they just, I know they couldn't have, they would have had to make a whole new runner for it. I just don't like that. It's a little harder to sand and prep if you're going to paint it, but not that much, not big a deal. I think all the new components are good. Not a lot bad about it. I just, this is just not my favorite design, so I'm coming from a bias there. But I think let's get some shots of it, get in some poses, and I think you'll find out what you'll decide what you want on it. Okay, do some close-ups now. I might not talk too much over this. Just trying to find some more parts that I did like about it. I think panel lining on this would be really nice. Maybe a dark brown instead of a black. I did enjoy, like I said before, I really enjoyed the backpack there. It's got some decent quality. I think you could probably port that over to any other kit maybe, because it's kind of it's a little bit of a mix between an 08 MS team, and it's just, it could be, you put that in a ground use mobile suit, no problem. Even if you're not going to use the rest of the components in here, maybe the head could definitely be universal. Use the two camera components there. I'm probably going to pop this off and put it on a sniper build. I like those two cameras. Rocket pack's not bad. All the components on the back here, they have their own little pivot and swivels, so you can adjust where the swords go, and the rockets and what have you. Sometimes they can get in the way of the legs just a little bit, but I think it's good. Looks like you go all the way back down like this. Pretty good movement. Antennas interfere with it just a little, unless you got it all the way up on the shoulder there. Rifle's real nice. Alright, so there you have it, the 00 Command 00 Quant. 0000 Quant. Like I said before, kind of my least favorite, but it is one of the most solid of the builds for the Breaker series. If you're painting this, quite a lot of seam lines that you're going to need to go through and handle, but I think you will still enjoy the build if you're into that. I went over before, I'll talk about it again. I always do. I double talk on all these things, but my favorite part is definitely the head here, with all the double cameras set up. Definitely my favorite part. Easy to kit bash. All the components are really nice. All the weapons, the backpack, pretty decent. I just did not like the legs. Least favorite part is just the profile on those. But other than that, not so bad. Could be much worse. Everything feels really nice. I'll do the, let you guys figure out the articulation later, but not bad. Not my favorite, but I'll still try to get some good shots of it anyway. I can't really think of anything else that's bad, really like generally bad about it, beyond my dislike for this, but everything still works as it should. I think the up here's a little loose here at the joint. This is going to be a little bit, the way they have it on as basically just a ball joint right there. That's going to be a bit, but that's common with the 00 high grade kits. Get it for the backpack. Backpack's very cool and new. It's an interesting profile. Again, not my favorite, but I think you may enjoy it. Trying to think if there's any final thoughts I have about this kit. I mean, it is definitely the most solid. It's growing on me a little bit. I'm not a big fan of most of the 00 suit designs and the way the high grade legs are set up, like the way they are built together for painting purposes. It seems like it's gonna be a lot more work to get them painted up right. And this one, especially, just the profile from the front of the leg, it's all just one shape all the way down. And I mean, if you like it, you're gonna like this kit. It's if you like those design elements, you're gonna like this. It's not you don't have to listen to me not like something. If you're a fan of it, you're a fan of it. The weapons are nice. Don't let me steer you wrong at all just from me being a bit of a bummer about it. It's just it didn't get me, it didn't wow me, but I definitely could see the parts being used. I'll use the parts for something later. Definitely the backpack and the sword is really nice. The one thing I didn't really talk about too much was the mirror decal in there behind the clear component behind it. It has a lot of depth in there, and the sword, sword's very nice. It's nice and long. It's kind of taken away some of the components of the original GN sword. It's just making it much more narrow, much more like a warrior sword, making it look older, an older type of design. So that is very cool. I do like that now, getting back into that. But again, that all goes into why I like this is mostly the backpack. Which, if you like it for that reason, do it. If you like it for other reasons, I still say pick it up. Rocket packs are very cool. A lot of clear components. The head's very cool. It does do a pretty decent number of the poses that are on the box. No real issues there. No lies. Shield's very cool. It does lock in pretty nice to the forearm, like most of the kind of like a Graze or a double. Most of the 00 kits have a little locking point, so they can lock the heavier things in there, which I always find is cool. But if I'm gonna do any kind of final thoughts, it's my least favorite, but I just don't think it doesn't have any technical flaws that will keep you from building it. While it's very solid, no wiggles, no looseness so far. Hips, everything's fitting in real nice, staying good and solid. So go out there and pick it up. There should be on all the shelves everywhere, or like I said before, they're all going to be carried by New Type very soon. So newtype.us. Pick yours up. Links are going to be in the bio. Thank you so much. See you next time. Alright, so here are the leftover parts for the 00 Commando Quant. Sticker sheet, let's get that out of there, too shiny. So the big thing is you can build the entire from leftover parts. The head is 100% new from the other one. So this is what you get, all the parts left over to make your own 00 high grade Quan head. What you do have is an extra neck ball joint, which I think is very cool. I'll show you what I like to do with these once I can get a hold of it. So you're gonna have spare. This is what you're gonna have spare of. So a little the neck ball joint. What I'll do is I'll take that and I'll assemble them and I'll attach them to my gator clip and then wrap some tape around them to keep them secure on there so they don't pop off. Probably you can put some putty if you want them more permanent, or just put them on a toothpick itself and then putty them. But I like this simply so that I can pop on any kind of high grade head that has that similar type of ball joint peg, and I can paint and detail and clear coat these all day long. And there's not going to be anything getting inside the neck joint there, and it's just simple. So that's what I like to do. Hopefully that's something new to you, and you can do that with your extra PC neck joints that you have no real reason for. Alright. Then everything else in there is pretty standard. The clear blades are not clear. They're the kind of gray, shiny, silvery metal plastic. You get some components for the chest, extra feet, leftover, weapons from the original swords. So you got the handle there. It's not going to be useful for this, but it could be useful. So not a bunch of them. A few little extra parts. Nothing to write home. Nothing to write home about. Sure, you could find some use for them. Yep. But biggest one is that you can build the entire head. If you're not happy with the head, there you go.